What's good, y'all? It's Solution back at it with another mental gym video in which I give you guys mental exercises you can use to become extremely successful and accomplish all the goals that you are after. So let's get right into it. So today I want to talk about reminders and why I believe reminders are important for you in order to help you achieve your goals, or how it can make you, well, not really how it can make it easier to achieve your goals, but how it can help you on your path to achieving your goals by making you more efficient. So let me explain. So the definition I came up with for reminders is taking past lessons and applying it to new problems to achieve your goals. Taking past lessons, key thing here, taking past lessons and applying it to new problems to achieve your goals. You see, on the path to achieving your goals, you are going to solve problems in order to get to where you want to go, right? And the thing is, problems don't change very significantly. What I'm saying is the structure on how you solve a problem will not change aggressively on the path to achieving your goals. It will change sometimes, meaning you will have to learn a new lesson sometimes. It's not like you can just continuously apply the same lesson over and over again. No, you will have to learn new lessons sometimes. But 90% of the time, you would be surprised. You just need to use past lessons learned to overcome a new problem. And that's why I believe it is very important to simply remind yourself of things you've done in the past in order to push yourself forward into the future with achieving whatever goal you want to achieve, right? So let me even give you an example of this. Think about you being a soccer player, and let's say your shooting was shit or your shooting was bad. So you were like, well, I need to improve my shooting. Well, you're like, how should I do that? Well, I should probably be disciplined. Meaning, and be disciplined, by being disciplined, I mean, I should probably go to the field and practice my shooting consistently. I need to do the same action over and over again consistently, and then I will get better. And with that being said, I should also be patient, meaning I should also realize this is going to take time. It's not just going to happen tomorrow or the day after that. I'm going to have to do this consistently if I want to actually see results. So you take these two lessons, right? You take these two lessons and then you apply it, right? You consistently go to the field and you're patient. You realize it's going to take time. You stay in the moment and just keep focusing on day after day after day. And over time, you see that your shooting as a soccer player has improved very significantly. And you're like, damn, I'm cold now. I'm good at what I need to do. So cool, you move on. So let's say some time now passes. And now you realize, damn, my shooting is some shit. Like, or not my shooting is some shit. My passing is some shit. Like, I cannot pass for shit. So you're like, how do I overcome this problem? Well, you don't need to learn a new lesson here. How did you previously get good at a skill you were bad at? You used discipline and you used patience. So now you take the lesson you previously learned and apply it to your new problem. Your new problem is that your passing is bad. So you take the past lesson that you learned, discipline and patience, and apply it to this new problem of passing. So you go work on your passing consistently. And then you realize you have to be patient, or you know that you have to be patient. It is going to take time. And once you've applied this lesson, your passing will also get good. And then in this way, you can kind of see how you can take past lessons and then use it on new problems. You don't always need to go learn something new. We often just need to be reminded more than we need to learn. We need to remember more than we need to learn. We need to remember more than we need to learn. Problems don't aggressively change. You can use past concepts on new problems. That's why lessons are important. That's why learning and mastering lessons you have learned is important, because you'll get to use them again. You don't learn lessons just because you're like, okay, I learned that shit. No, you learned lessons so you can use it again. Your past is very useful. You probably already know what you should be doing, bro. You probably already know how to solve whatever problem you're facing. You're just not doing it. And that is a whole nother issue. And if you're dealing with that where you know what to do and you're just not doing it, I suggest that you check out my purpose and my discipline video, because I feel like those videos can help kickstart your action or kickstart your action taking. Because, bro, you know what you need to do. You have it within you. You already know what you need to do. You've probably already learned the lessons. You've probably already learned the lessons. And even if you haven't, taking action will help you learn the lessons. So it doesn't really matter. It's either you have the lessons and you use them, or you go take action and learn them. Either way, you should know what to do. So I'll link my purpose and discipline video down below if you need that to help you out. But yeah, so how do you think through this? How do you make sure you have reminders? And that's where we get into the mental exercise for today. So the first step to this is recall, of course, right? Recall. So what do I mean by recall? You have to think back to your past. So when you've been given a new problem, or you've been presented a new problem on the path to achieving your goals that you need to solve to get towards your goals, right? You have to think back, have I solved a similar problem? Or more importantly, you have to think, what lessons have I previously used for this type of problem? So when you think about the problem, is like, is it a skill issue? Is it a belief thing? Is it a mindset thing? Like, because usually problems will test some form of you. They'll usually test usually a skill, like a trait, or a belief. Like usually a problem will test one of these three things. And then you just kind of have to ask yourself or recall, what skill or trait or belief did I previously use to solve a problem like this? Or what is this problem testing me on? On my skill, trait, or belief? And then if you know, okay, it's belief, how did I previously solve a belief thing? How did I previously solve a skill issue? How did I previously solve a trait issue? Well, generally skills and traits are the same because you can train skills and traits, by the way. Like a character trait, I can tell you actions that you need to take in order to do something. So it's technically a skill because it can be taught. And beliefs is just a different thing. It's more mindset, whatever you choose to believe about certain scenarios. So it's kind of different in that way. I also have a beliefs video if you want to know more about that as well. But yeah, so skills and traits are kind of like the same. But generally problems are testing these areas of you. So you just have to think back or recall to a previous situation like, okay, with this problem, how have I previously, for the similar type of problem, like if it was a skill issue, like if you're not good at something, let's say that's the problem. You're like, okay, when I was not good at something, that means I usually needed a skill to overcome it. So what lesson did I use to overcome this type of problem in the past? Oh, I used discipline. Oh, I used patience. And now you just think with this new problem, instead of thinking, oh my God, what new thing do I need to learn? You're just like, oh, I just need to be patient and disciplined. And then I'll be able to overcome this problem again. You literally so in this way, you just simply recalled, you thought back to your past, and then brought that lesson back forward. You realized when you weren't good at something, and the new problem you have is that you're not good at something, you were just patient and disciplined and training whatever skill you needed in order to solve the problem or overcome it. So then you just apply the same lesson, you drag the same lesson forward. And that's why once you have realized or recalled the past lesson, then you do execute. Now, of course, even if you have recalled the past lesson, nothing matters if you do nothing. The biggest thing I always say on my channel is that all this shit doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you do something. You have to do. You can do everything right. You can do everything you need to be doing. Think the right thoughts, have the right traits, have the right skills. But if you do nothing, nothing will happen. And that's why you must execute. You have to execute. You got to execute. Once you've recalled a previous skill or trait or belief you've had to solve a past problem, you take that skill, trait, or belief forward, and then you use it on the new problem because the problems are structured similarly. Like you have to look at the problem structure. Problems do not change aggressively. Problems will test different areas of you, yes, but they don't change crazy. And let's say there's a situation where a problem is different or you have not learned a lesson yet here. Well, if you don't know the lesson, then you do, I'll say /search. So what do I mean by search? So if you do not have the lesson, if you try to recall, you went back into your past and you've looked at the past lessons you've learned and you're like, oh shit, I don't know what I need to know for this. Then you must search. What do I mean search? You must search for knowledge. You must go search for knowledge on this particular situation. Where do you search knowledge? Where do you get the knowledge from? Your value circle. So think now value circle. So your value circle. So what is your value circle? Your value circle is people who are in your environment, or people you have contact with in some shape or form, who can help you achieve your goals because they have information that is valuable to you. And these people can come in three forms. And I've also made a previous video on this, so I'll link that in the description too. But basically, your value circle has three types of people, and you can have as many of these people in your value circle as possible, because the more information, obviously, the better. So for the three types, the first type is people who have achieved what you want, and they can give information that you can use. Think about YouTube. Like, think about me, for example. Like, I could be on your value circle because I've achieved something you want. I guess these mental exercises, and then you can use them as information to help you achieve your goals, right? But you don't necessarily have direct access or contact with me. Like, you can't just call me. Or you have people who want to achieve the same thing as you, and you can work with them. Obviously, their experiences can connect with yours for you guys to come to conclusions and then overcome obstacles. Like, you can basically take somebody else's lessons, they can give them to you, and then you use those lessons to overcome whatever issue you have from that other person's experience because you work with them. And in the same way, moving backwards to the previous type, if someone has achieved what you want, they have learned particular lessons that could be useful to you. And that's what makes search so powerful, because they can just give you the lesson you need for this situation. And then you're good to go. And the last type of person, but the best kind, is people who have achieved what you want and you can work with them. And the reason why this is beautiful is because they can just directly pump the lessons into you. If you are pause, they can directly give you the lessons because, you're working directly with them. They already know what to do. They've learned the lessons to overcome particular problems, and they can just give you the information that you need. So that's really beautiful. And also, for all of the types, all these people value the same stuff as you. So make sure these people value the same things as you. Like, their integrity is good. If you value hard work, they value hard work. If you value honesty, they value honesty. Basically, their ethics and how they see the world is similar to you, because that information would be a higher quality and serve you much better. So if you don't know, going backwards, if you recall your previous situation, so if you recall, you think back to previous skills, traits, and beliefs that you have, that you've used to overcome issues. When you think back to these things, you're like, okay, well, in this situation, when I didn't have a particular skill, the problem I needed to solve was that I wasn't good at something, so I needed to get good. What skill did I previously use? Well, or what trait did I previously use? Well, I was disciplined and I was patient. So you just move that forward to the new problem that you have. I really hope this makes sense. You move that forward to the new problem that you have. And then you use the same previous lesson that you have learned to solve the new problem. Cool. So let's say you recall and you realize, oh shit, like, I don't have this lesson yet. So instead of execute, which you would do if you already know what you're doing, right? If you already know it's discipline and patience that you need, you just execute on the problem and then you will overcome the issue. But if you don't know, then you search. And by search, I mean search for knowledge. Who is reliable to search knowledge for? Like, where can you reliably get knowledge from? That would be your value circle. Because your value circle are people who can give you the past lessons, or not give you past lessons, but they can give you lessons that you need now to achieve whatever, or to overcome whatever problem you are currently facing. And that's what makes the value circle so valuable, ironically. Well, not ironically, that's just the name, but so that's what makes the value circle so valuable. And yeah, so that is pretty much my reminders mental exercise. I honestly believe, this is I always say this with a lot of frameworks, but this is a low-key thing that can really add up in the long run. Because sometimes we waste a lot of time thinking that we need a completely new lesson and a completely new way of doing things in order to achieve or overcome something. When what I love about these mental exercises that I make is that they're almost timeless, bro. You can just keep using them over and over and over and over and over again to solve new problems. Because generally speaking, problems don't change. Like, the lessons, you probably already know what you need to do. You just need to be reminded more than you need to learn. You just need to remember more than you need to be taught. You just need to remember. You probably already know what you need to do. You've probably faced a very similar problem, but you've just never recalled. You've never thought back to your past lessons, because it's funny how we just think we should just learn lessons just to learn them one time. No, once you learn a lesson, you should continuously apply it because it has helped you. That's the whole point of learning a lesson. You're a human being. You're supposed to grow and evolve. Well, you're not supposed to do anything, but I'm saying in the context of achieving your goals, it would help you to evolve and grow by taking past lessons and continuing to use them to solve new problems until you can't anymore and you need to learn something new. So then you go to your value circle who can give you the new lesson, and then you move forward like that. And all of this is helpful. Why? Because it'll help you move faster. You will waste time if you think you have to solve a problem a completely different way if you already know what you're supposed to be doing. That is a complete waste of time. And I want you to achieve your goals much faster. I don't want you guys to waste time. I want you guys to focus on what matters. So yeah, so please give me feedback on that. Did this make sense? Do you believe this can help you to now, instead of always be thinking for a new lesson that you need to learn, you can kind of just calm down, think back to your past, think about how you've previously dealt with situations like this, and then use those previous lessons learned, push them forward to the new problems, and then overcome them. Because usually you've already learned the lesson, have gained the skill, trait, or belief that you need to solve this new problem. So you just need to think back to what you did there and then bring it forward and then use it again. Like I talked about in the earlier example, like if you're a soccer player, your shooting was ass, you use discipline and patience to overcome it, and then now later, you realize your passing is ass, so you use the previous skill that you had or traits of patience and discipline, you bring that forward to the new problem and you use it to solve that new problem. Or you could say this was shit, you're like solution, you're so fucking dumb. I don't think this will help absolutely anyone. I think you should have done this, and this. You should have brought up this example, but yada yada yada, whichever, drop it down in the comments. It all helps me become a better YouTuber so I can give you guys better mental exercises and frameworks you can use to become extremely successful. And also, please like the video, boost us in the algorithm so more guys can see this and use it to just simply think back to their past and then use their past or their past lessons learned to push their goals forward by using their past lessons to solve new problems. And I guess with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next Mental Gym video. Peace.